Welcome to another Drag Race related channel. In today's video we're going to talk about Drag Race Italia Season 2 and we have a top 4. Now the only question is who is going to win Drag Race Italia Season 2? And in today's video I will try to predict the winner of Drag Race Italia Season 2. But let's be clear, after an analysis that I'm going to explain in a few moments, I will state who I think is going to win, not who I think should win or who do I want to win. I just wanted to make that clear. In order to do so, I will use the same evaluation criteria that the channel You, I think it's just pronounced You, has been using for years to predict the Drag Race winners. And I will link his channel just in the description of the video. I've always been interested in their prediction videos, and since they don't cover Drag Race Italia, I thought I could do the same. Still, the structure of this video is their creation, not mine. So, shout out to You. Now, without further ado, let's get right into the video. What I'm gonna do is to figure out which contestant of the top 4 fits better each of these categories. The first being the best track record. Basically, I've calculated the amount of points that each queen has obtained throughout the entire competition. And looking at that data, I'm just going to state who has the best track record. In the second category, we will see who has been the front runner in most episodes. What I did is that I went through each episode and looked at which queen had accumulated the highest amount of points. So the queen who has been the one with the highest amount of points the most times wins this category. And finally, I will try to analyze who had the best and strongest storyline in the course of the competition. Because yes, this is a competition show, but it's also a TV show. So storylines are important. So let's start and let's have a look at the track records of the top 4. This is the scoring system that I use. 5 points for a win, 4.5 points for a top 2 placement, 4 points for a high placement, 3 points for a safe placement, 2 points for a low placement, 1 point for a bottom placement, and 0 points for the elimination. Then I also give 1 point for the mini challenges that I usually count, but I think it's mandatory to count mini challenges when it comes to Drag Race Italia because I cannot stress this enough. Mini challenges are important in Drag Race Italia. Point. Period. Here we can see the track records of the top 4. It's pretty obvious that there is a top 2 who is far ahead in comparison to the other 2 queens who fall a bit behind. And let's not beat it around the bush. I think we all can imagine that the top 2 queens in this case are La Diamond and Nelenia, while Aura Eternal and La Petite Noire fall a little bit behind track record wise. But everyone in this top 4 has a pretty good track record. Everyone has at least one maxi challenge. In 4th place we have La Petite Noire, who ends the 7th episode with an accumulated amount of points of 22, and she has 3.14 points per episode, which is a very good track record. She has one maxi challenge win and she has been in the bottom 2 just once. In 3rd place we have Aura Eternal, which scores 25 points in total and has 3.57 points per episode, also another good track record. She has one maxi challenge win and she has never been in the bottom 2. Then in 2nd place we have Nelenia, who even though only has one maxi challenge win, doesn't fall much behind La Diamond, who has 4. And why is that? Well, she has been in the top for 3 weeks in a row. She was high in the card reading challenge, that thing we all want to forget. She was in the top 2 lip sync for the Rusical, and she won the makeover challenge. Also, the 3 weeks in which she was safe at the beginning of the competition, she also won 3 mini challenges. And all of that brings her to 28.5 episodes. She has more than 4 points per episode, which is an incredible track record. But yeah, obviously at 1st place we have La Diamond, who has an incredible amount of points. She has 30 points. She won 4 maxi challenges out of 7. And she has the same track record of the winner of Drag Race Holland Season 1 Envy Peru, who is considered to be one of the strongest winners ever. So yeah, La Diamond with 30 points and 4.29 points per episode has an amazing track record. So, as you probably imagined, she takes the first category, which is Best Track Record. Now, let's have a look at who has been the front runner the most times. As you can see here, only 2 queens have been the front runner at least once during the competition. The second queen has been the front runner 2 times in 2 episodes, and this queen is Nelenia. She was tied as the front runner with the other queen that we will see later in episode 2. And then in episode 6, she actually was the only front runner. But as you can imagine, the queen who has been the front runner in 6 episodes out of 7 is La Diamond. She started at the top of the competition in episode 1, that she won. Then she was tied with Nelenia as the front runner in episode 2. Then she was the only front runner in episode 3, in episode 4, in episode 5. Then in episode 6, she was surpassed by Nelenia for a brief moment, and then she came back at the top of the competition in episode 7 when she won the roast challenge. So let's not beat around the bush. The second category goes also to La Diamond. Therefore, from a competitive standpoint, La Diamond wins. But Drag Race is also a TV show, so we need to take into account also storylines. So now let's have a look at the storylines of the top 4. Aura Eternal definitely has some sort of storyline that production gave her, because we've seen her growing up for the entire competition, and we've seen that from the metaphor of being able to walk on high heels. Then she had a really cute moment with La Diamond asking her to be her drag daughter, so she definitely has some sort of storyline. Then we have La Diamond, who has none. She doesn't have any type of storyline. Yes, in episode 6, it was cute to see her adopting Aura as her drag daughter. We've seen her human side, but she didn't develop in any way. She started out perfect, and she kept on being perfect, and she finished perfect. Like, it's kind of one note. Yeah, it's perfect, it's perfection, but it's one note. There isn't any narrative, there is not a storyline there. And the same goes for La Petite Noire. She was presented as the dancing queen, and we've seen her winning the Rusical after a top 2 lip sync, and we've seen her slaying in the lip syncs and all of that, but she did good at what we expected her to be good at. There was no evolution, there was no surprise. Like from if we look at storyline, there was none, just like in La Diamond's case. And then we have Nelenia, who has by far the strongest storyline. The fact that she's also the narrator of the season helps, but her storyline is pretty strong. She started out great, but she was never able to get to the top. She was safe for 3 weeks, but winning mini challenges. Then she was high, but we've seen her crumble a little bit. Then she came back to the top, but couldn't win just like at the last moment because of the lip sync. And then finally, in episode 6, she won the makeover challenge. And it felt so good. I think it was the most rewarding moment of the entire season. She basically received the robbed queen edit. Not in the sense that the queens who actually won challenges were not deserving, because they all were. It's just that Nelenia was always so close, and the robbed queen edit works with the audience. Paired with the fact that she was also great in the confessionals, just created this amazing character, with this amazing storyline for her. So I'm not going to spend many words about it. Nelenia wins the category of best storyline. But now, before we do 1+1, let's discuss this, I don't know how to call it, if it's a rumor, if it's just gossip, if it's a theory, I don't know. Let's discuss about MAC Cosmetics. Now, there are some speculations about MAC having a saying in deciding the winner of the season. People started to think so after Electra Bionic's win of season 1, where she was arguably the best possible representation for the brand. And according to this speculation, the most obvious winner seems to be Aura Eternal, because she has a very marketable mag just like Electra and has won the makeup mini challenge. I can't possibly know if Mac has a power on that decision, but I hardly believe it. I don't think that Discovery Plus, Ballandi, and World of Wonders would give up their right to manage their own show for a sponsor, even if it's the main sponsor. Yes, Elektra was the best representation for the brand, but even if her win was unprecedented because she didn't have any Maxi Challenge win, she came into the competition as a fully developed queen and also as a strong competitor. Despite not winning a single Maxi Challenge, she never struggled throughout the entire season and she demolished the final episode. Then she also had the biggest fan support amongst the Italian audience. In my opinion, Aura's situation is quite different. She grew up week by week, but she still has to grow as a drag queen. She didn't came into the competition as a fully developed drag queen. She also struggled a few times when actually Elektra didn't. And finally, she doesn't have the biggest fan support, who is torn between Nelenia and La Diamond. Aura winning the season, I think, would be too dangerous for the franchise, especially after the backlash that the show received internationally last year. With Aura, the backlash would come from also the Italian audience, and I don't think that Drag Race Italia could survive that. Still, I don't really think they're going to take that route. The efforts of production in fixing the issues of season 1 were evident, therefore I don't believe they will throw everything away out the window with another messy landing. Also, and this is spoiler, Aura will appear on Queens of the Universe and has the potential to kill it on an all-star season or a versus the world. So I don't think the production is going to go with Aura Eternal as the winner of Drag Race Italia season 2. And I don't think Mac really has a saying in that decision. But that's enough conspiracies, theories, and stuff that we don't care about. Let's go back to our 3 categories. So, La Diamond won the Best Track Record category, the Front Runner category, and Nelenia won the Storyline category. According to this analysis, Drag Race Italia Season 2 is going to be won by La Diamond. She has an amazing track record. And even though she got the perfect queen edit that usually doesn't go well in Drag Race, she demolished the competition. And I also think that Drag Race Italia wants to give us something different from last season. Actually, it's not just Drag Race Italia. Drag Race in general, every season changes things. They never give us the same type of winner with the same type of storyline. And having the underdog winning again, it would be too repetitive. And since Italia Season 2 has a lot to redeem from Italia Season 1, I think they will take the safest route, which would be La Diamond. That track record-wise and competition-wise deserves to win 100%. But having said that, don't be surprised if Nelenia wins. She also has a great track record. She's the fan favorite, which is something important, and she has the best storyline. Also, the final Maxi Challenge will be a music video where the girls have to write their own lyrics, sing them, and then perform, and Nelenia is really good at that. And I can see her slaying that challenge more than La Diamond, which is what happened in the Rusical, for example. It would be like what happened last year with Elektra giving her all in the finale and outshining everyone else and demolishing the entire final episode, while Farida was extremely relaxed and felt like she was sure about winning, so she didn't really give her all. Still, looking at what happened, I know La Diamond is a pro, and I don't think she's going to into the finale relax because she has 4 maxi challenges. Having said that, I still think production is going to go with La Diamond. She came into this competition as perfect, and she basically never struggled. We also have to take into consideration the All-Star season or the Versus the World season, and for those type of competitions, contestants must have something to redeem, and La Diamond would have nothing to redeem. She never struggled throughout the entire competition. Nelenia, on the other hand, even though she still did extremely good, it feels like she has still a lot to show. And I see Nelenia more as All-Stars material if I put myself into production shoes. If I were in their shoes, I would pick La Diamond because it just feels like it's her time to take the crown. She gave her all now. She never struggled. I don't really see now La Diamond in an All-Star season or a Versus the World. On the other hand, I can see Nelenia on an All-Star season. And that's one of the main reasons why I don't think this year production is going to go with the underdog edit for the winner. So I'm not going to add anything else really. I think I've talked enough. Still, this video is an analysis, but we can't predict the future. I don't know what production is thinking, and it's impossible to say with 100% certainty who is going to win a Drag Race season. I think it's going to be La Diamond. And even if there are some chances that Nelenia could win, I think La Diamond is going to be the next Italia drag superstar. And that's all, folks. I really think that's all. So thank you for watching, and please consider subscribing to this channel. It would be very, 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 very helpful. And yeah, that's the video. Bye bye.